Welcome back, everybody. This is Brother Jacob, and this is the False Prophet channel where we get Islam busted and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, busted on a regular basis. You probably can already hear the excitement in my voice, and the reason why is because in today's video, we will be dropping a nuclear bomb on Islam. This video that I show you today, the subject matter that we cover, I guarantee you the Muslims will not have an answer for it. This video destroys Islam once and for all. You can forget about the Abduls saying anything else about Muhammad being a prophet. And this video proves that Islam is straight from Satan without a shadow of doubt. We already know that Islam is from Satan. But this video right here, it totally drives the nail through the coffin. So without further ado, like, share, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. What I have before you now is a hadith that every Muslim is familiar with, and anybody that keeps up with apologetics and the internet debates between Christians and Muslims, you too are familiar with this hadith I'm about to show you. So let's get right into it. And this is from Sahih al-Bukhari. And let's show you the classification. It's Sahih. That means it's authentic. So the Muslims can't say it's not good, it's weak, it's da'if, blah, blah, blah. Because that's the first thing they'll try to do. But they can't do it with this hadith. This is a well-known hadith, what we are about to read to you now. So let's get right into it. Now, this hadith is speaking about the beginning of Islam, starting with Muhammad in the cave of Hira. Okay, so let's start. It was narrated by Aisha, the mother of the faithful believers. Let's go. The commencement of the divine inspiration to Allah's messenger was in the form of good dreams which came true like bright daylight. And then the love of seclusion was bestowed upon him. He used to go in seclusion in the cave of Hira, where he used to worship Allah alone, continuously for many days before his desire to see his family. Now, as you see, they cleverly put Allah alone, but that's not in the Arabic, okay? Where he used to worship continuously for many days before his desire to see his family. He used to take with him the journey food for the stay and then come back to his wife Khadijah to take his food likewise again, till suddenly the truth descended upon him while he was in the cave of Hira. Now we are about to highlight the good part. So here we go. This is the main part of the hadith that we want to focus on in this video. Let's begin. The angel came to him and asked him to read. The prophet replied, I do not know how to read. The prophet added, the angel caught me forcefully and pressed me so hard that I could not bear it anymore. He then released me and again asked me to read, and I replied, I do not know how to read. Thereupon, he caught me again and pressed me a second time till I could not bear it anymore. He then released me and again asked me to read. But again, I replied, I do not know how to read. Or, what shall I read? Thereupon, he caught me for the third time and pressed me and then released me and said, read in the name of your Lord, who has created all that exists, created man from a clot. Read, and your Lord is the most generous. So he was telling him to read the passage in the Quran, Surah 96:1, Surah 96:2, and Surah 96:3, as you see highlighted. So let's break down what we have read to you so far. Now, what we have unpacked thus far, Muhammad was in the cave of Hira. An angel came to him, but we're going to prove that it wasn't an angel. It was a demon. A demon came to him, and this demon basically tortured Muhammad. It squeezed him to the point of near death, because Muhammad said that he couldn't bear it anymore. So that means if that demon would have squeezed him a second beyond what he could bear, that Muhammad would have died. He said it. He couldn't bear it anymore. He was in pain. He was terrified. Let's show you that he was terrified before the Muslims say, where does it say he was terrified at, Brother Jacob? It don't say that. Let's show you. After that incident with the demon, let's show you. It says, Then Allah's messenger returned with the inspiration and with his heart beating severely. Then he went to Khadijah and said, cover me, cover me. They covered him till his fear was over. And after that, he told her everything that had happened and said, I fear that something may happen to me. He was terrified. Why did he fear that something would happen to him? Because he was viciously attacked. That demon was suffocating him. This was not a visitation from no godly angel. He was in fear. What does the Bible say? God has not given us a spirit of fear. But what did this angel give him? A spirit of fear. Does everybody see that? So let's get back to, you see, Muhammad, initially, he felt that he was under demonic attack. It wasn't until Khadijah and Warwick convinced him that it wasn't a demon. But Muhammad, in his own judgment, he thought it was a demon. Muhammad was afraid of what had happened to him. He thought it was a demon. He didn't think it was an angel from the Most High. He was terrified. And he didn't seek refuge in Allah. That's how you know that he didn't feel it was from a benevolent God. Because why does it say, then he went to Khadijah and said, cover me, cover me. He seeked refuge in his wife, not God. He didn't say, I seek refuge in Allah, because he didn't think it came from Allah. Now it's time to unpack the real issue at hand. Now let's unpack the real issue at hand. Now we are about to ask the most important questions to the Muslims that they must answer. Now, we've already laid out that Muhammad, his first initial God-given sense, because everybody has senses that God gives us, whether Christian or Muslim, we all have taste, touch, hear, see, and smell. And we all know just by our natural God-given senses if something is evil or not. Because evil has a certain presence about it. And Muslims, they say that Muhammad, he was the perfect example. So if he was the perfect example, that means his senses are also the perfect example for Muslims to follow. And his first sense in this experience was that this thing was evil. That was his first sense and his first reaction to this incident. It was to run, to flee. Everything in his God-created body said, something ain't right about this. Something isn't right about this. But now it's time for the Muslims to answer these serious questions. Now, what do the Muslims tell us? The Muslims say that angels don't have a free will. That's what the Muslims say. They say angels don't have a free will. Okay, cool. We accept that. Angels don't have a free will according to Islam. That's cool. Now, Muslims must tell us, who was it who ordered Jibreel? And notice that nowhere in this story does it say anything about Jibreel visiting Muhammad. Later on in the hadith, it was Waraka and Khadijah, but ultimately Waraka who convinced Muhammad that it was Jibreel. But actually, it's the Namus. He really said the Namus, which means the law of Moses. But that's a whole nother story. But we're just going to take what the Muslims say for argument's sake. Let's just say that it was Waraka and Khadijah who convinced Muhammad that it was Jibreel. But as you see in this hadith, it doesn't say Jibreel. But be that as it may, let's continue. Muslims tell us that angels don't have a free will. So to the Muslims, to the Abduls, who was it who ordered Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad. Who Muslims? Who ordered Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad? Tell us that. Was it Allah? Or did Jibreel do it upon his own accord? Did Allah order Jibreel? Did Allah say, Jibreel, send this message to my beloved Prophet Muhammad and squeeze him, by the way, Jibreel. I want you to squeeze him till he can't bear it. Don't introduce your name to him. Squeeze him till he can't bear it. Make him terrified so he can run to his wife and his cousin in fear and trembling, so he can run to Khadijah and say, cover me, cover me. I feel as if something is going to happen to me. So Muslims, was it Allah who ordered this Jibreel, who you say it was, to squeeze Muhammad? Or did Jibreel operate on his own accord? Was this of his own doing? Because you say angels don't have a free will. So that means there are some questions that have to be answered. Who ordered Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad? Now, according to the Quran, angels are sent to only send the messages to the prophets. They not ordered to squeeze no prophet. They not ordered to squeeze a prophet and terrify him. Not according to the Quran. So that means, this brings up another problem. That means that Jibreel, he had a free will. Muslims say that angels just carry out the orders of Allah. They basically like robots. They can't follow anything other than the orders of Allah. They can't go off and do anything extra. They can't put their judgment into anything. They just have to follow the commands of Allah. But clearly, this hadith proves that Jibreel had a free will, and we're going to tell you why. But first, let's touch upon the next problem that this issue raises, this issue of Jibreel squeezing Muhammad. This incident of Jibreel squeezing Muhammad, it brings up a very, very serious issue. And that issue is, since Jibreel demonstrated that he had a free will by squeezing Muhammad and doing something that he was not ordered to do, that means the Muslims cannot say with 100% certainty that the Quran is untampered. Because if Jibreel had a free will, as he demonstrated, to squeeze Muhammad 3 times, that means he also had a free will to add his own words into what he was sending to Muhammad. So now the Muslims can't say for 100% certainty that they know for sure that Jibreel transmitted the Quran 100% verbatim to Muhammad. They can't say that. They can no longer say that. Because it's clearly demonstrated that by using the Quran, angels are not sent to squeeze prophets. They were sent to send a message, not to squeeze. So that means the Muslims, they can no longer say with 100% certainty that, hey, Jibreel, if he had the audacity to squeeze and terrify one of Allah's most beloved prophets, then what would stop him from telling a lie? If somebody will terrify you, they will lie to you. He could have killed Muhammad. Muhammad said he could not bear it anymore. That's attempted murder. Let's bring things into perspective. If somebody came that you didn't know, because Muhammad didn't know who this was, let's just say somebody knocked at your front door, and then they started squeezing you and bear hugging you to the point you couldn't take it no more. And then they did it 3 times. Is that not assault? That's a crime. That's attempted murder. That's an assault. So Muslims have to explain to us, if the Quran already tells you that, and we're going to show you these verses, the Quran already lays it out flat that Muhammad was illiterate. So if this angel is the messenger angel, he would already know what the Quran says. The Quran says he was unlettered. So why would he ask Muhammad, could you read? He would already know Muhammad couldn't read. And here's another thing. Muslims, they say that Muhammad, one of his names is Al-Amin, which means the most trustworthy. If Muhammad is the most trustworthy, then why didn't Jibreel trust his word when he said, I couldn't read? I told y'all this was going to be devastating. Why didn't Jibreel trust Muhammad's word when he said he couldn't read? But the Muslims say Muhammad's the most trustworthy. Nah, Jibreel didn't think so. Allah didn't think so. Because now the Muslims are in a very, very huge dilemma. Now you have to decide, did Allah order Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad? Because if he ordered Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad, that means Allah is not all-knowing. If he was all-knowing, why would he send an angel to say to Muhammad, read, when he already knew Muhammad couldn't read? Because in the eternal Quran, it says that Muhammad was the unlettered prophet. So Allah would already know Muhammad couldn't read. Allah would already know. Jibreel would already know. So that would be a contradiction to ask Muhammad a silly question. And also, this raises another point. This raises another point. Jibreel's purpose was to send a message to Muhammad. Squeezing Muhammad has nothing to do with the message of Islam. Nothing whatsoever. So that's how we know that this action of Jibreel was of his own free will. He was not ordered to squeeze Muhammad. This was of his own free will, because he squeezed Muhammad as a form of punishment. He squeezed Muhammad as a form of punishment. That's right. Because Muhammad said he couldn't read, and Jibreel was like, "Oh, you lying to me? Yes, you are gonna read." And he squeezed him. He punished him. He punished him 3 times. So Muslims can't say that Allah ordered Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad, because we're going to show you the verse as well, because the Quran says Allah is not unjust. Allah can't order someone to be punished if they didn't do anything. And the Muslims are not going to say Muhammad lied. Muslims, did Muhammad lie to Jibreel when he said, "I can't read"? Did he lie? Of course they're going to say, no, our prophet didn't lie. So if he didn't lie, why was he punished? He was punished. That's a punishment. Jibreel told him to read. He said, "I couldn't read." And then he squeezed him. He caused him pain. He could have killed him. He was terrified. So you mean to tell me Allah will order somebody to be terrified and tortured for telling the truth? And that in itself proves that this thing that Jibreel, or this demon, what this demon did, he was not ordered to do that from God. He was not. So everything that I'm telling you, listeners, is proof that what Muhammad saw in the cave of Hira, it was a demon. It was a demon, everybody. Now, at this moment, I want to show you some scriptures, some verses from the Quran to back up everything that I'm saying. So let me pull some things up real quick. I want to show you some verses from the Muslim sources. I got this from SunnahOnline.com. Obligation to believe in the messenger, obey him, and follow his sunnah. Now look what it says in the Quran. Allah says, believe, let's highlight it. Believe in Allah and his messenger and the light which he sent down. Does everybody see that? So if this angel was acting in accordance to God's will, Allah's will, then why would he not believe when Muhammad told him that he couldn't read and punished him as if he was lying? When you see in the Quran, Surah 64:8, it says, believe in Allah and his messenger. Who is the messenger? Muhammad. So how couldn't, and let's show you again. Here's a better verse. Surah 7:158. Believe in Allah and his messenger, the unlettered prophet. That's what I was telling y'all. This is already in the Quran that Muhammad couldn't read. So if Jibreel is the messenger, angel, he would have known already that Muhammad couldn't read. That's letting you know it was a demon. Because this verse right here, it tells you to believe in who? Allah, and who? His messenger. So if you don't believe when he tells you that he can't read, that means you're not believing in him. Believing in someone means you believe in their words. So clearly this was a demon. It wasn't sent by Allah. This demon was not, because the actions of this demon, it does not correlate to what the Quran is saying. Believe in Allah and his messenger, the unlettered prophet. Further proof that this thing was a demon. Let's show you another verse. Whoever does not believe in Allah and his messenger, we have prepared a blaze for the unbelievers. Quran 48:13. So this angel was an unbeliever. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I told y'all. This angel was an unbeliever. Because he didn't believe when Muhammad said, I couldn't read. Whoever does not believe in Allah and his messenger, we have prepared a blaze for the unbelievers. Woo! Woo! I told y'all. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Now let me show y'all something else. Let me show y'all some more scriptures. And here goes some verses that I had to copy and paste. Now, remember when I was telling y'all that it says that Allah is not an unjust God? Because Muhammad told his angel the truth. He said, I couldn't read. The angel punished him, started squeezing him, terrifying him, causing him pain and agony. And what does this verse say right here? In Surah 41:46, whoever does righteousness, it is for his own soul. And whoever does evil does so against it. And your Lord is not ever unjust to his servants. So this verse is telling you that Allah is not unjust. Justice. He's a God of justice. The opposite of justice is injustice. And it's saying that your Lord is not ever unjust. So the Muslims can't say that Jibreel was ordered by Allah to squeeze Muhammad, because Muhammad told the truth. And telling the truth is doing righteousness, as this verse says. Whoever does righteousness, it is for his own soul. So Muhammad didn't do anything unrighteous. He didn't lie. He said, I can't read. So Allah wouldn't order the angel to squeeze him for telling the truth, because it's telling you right here that your Lord is not ever, he's not ever unjust to his servants. And being unjust would be to administer a punishment to someone if they haven't did anything. Muhammad didn't lie. He didn't say, I can't read. He said, I can't read. And this demon squeezed him and punished him for telling the truth. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Let's read the next verse. Let's read the next verse. It is not for a believing man or a believing woman, when Allah and his messenger have decided a matter, that they should thereafter have any choice about their affair. And whoever disobeys Allah and his messenger has certainly strayed into clear error. So the verse we've just read to you, Jibreel would have known about this verse. he would have known that once Muhammad says something, he shouldn't have no choice about the affair. Muhammad said, I can't read. If Jibreel was from Allah, he would have known what the Quran says. It says, it is not for a believing man or a believing woman when Allah and his messenger have decided a matter that they should thereafter have any choice about their affair. So when that Jibreel, when that false angel squeezed Muhammad, he was having a choice in the matter that Muhammad had already decided upon. Muhammad already told him. So he shouldn't have had a reason to not believe him. He already knew that Muhammad was a prophet because he knew he was being sent to deliver the message to the prophet. So why would he have any reason to doubt anything that Muhammad said? Because if Muhammad was a liar, why would Allah choose a liar? And Muslims say that Muhammad is Al-Amin, the trustworthy, but Jibreel didn't trust him. He didn't trust his word. So according to the Quran, Surah 33:36, Jibreel certainly strayed into clear error because Muhammad decided the matter of whether he could read or not when he told him, I can't read. Now, Muslims might say, well, this verse says it's talking about for men and women. No, the Quran is the eternal words of Allah, according to what the Muslims say. So even the angels have to follow the words of Allah. They're not above and beyond the eternal Quran. Even the Muslims even say that angels are Muslims as well. They don't have a different word. They don't have a different, no, they have to abide by these words as well. So this verse applies to Jibreel as well in Islam. Not the real Jibreel of the Bible, but we're talking about the Muslim and the little story they came up with. We just going by what they tell us, okay? Now let's go back to now let's read. Also, the Quran says that Jibreel was trustworthy. So this is another reason why this thing could not be an angel from God, because he wasn't trustworthy. Trying to find that verse. Because he wasn't trustworthy. Even this verse right here can get them busted. Let's read this verse. If you quarrel over something, then refer it back to Allah and his messenger. But did this angel refer anything back to Muhammad? No, he didn't. He squeezed him. But this says refer it back to Allah and his messenger. So he was supposed to believe him. Once Muhammad said, I can't read, then, like the other verse said, he decided upon a matter. The question was what he was told to do something. Muhammad said he couldn't read. The angel didn't refer back to Muhammad and say, oh, I believe you, messenger of Allah, you can't read. He didn't say that. He squeezed him again. Now I want to show y'all this verse in the Quran. It speaks about Jibreel being trustworthy. Sorry if this video is too long-winded, but it's good, so it's not unnecessary words. So you gotta bear with me. Okay. You gotta bear with me. Because things like this take a little time, you know? You can't rush through everything. You can't rush through everything. But I want to show you this verse. I think I'll type trustworthy spirit. The Muslims have no answer for this. Okay, here we go. Surah 26, 193. We're just going to highlight the Sahih International. And it says, as you see, as everybody sees, Sahih International, the trustworthy spirit has brought it down. And that's Surah 26, 193. The trustworthy spirit. So as you see, it said the trustworthy spirit brought it down. But as you see, he wasn't trustworthy because he did something unworthy. If he was trustworthy, he wouldn't do something opposite of trustworthy, which is unworthy, by squeezing Muhammad and acting towards Muhammad unjustly. So that in itself proves that this Jibreel thing was not an angel of the Most High. It was a demon, and in every facet in the way he operated, it was demonic. Let's show you. Now I'm about to read I left this comment to Muslim cheerleader. Now let's read this comment. Now, this will break it down, and we're about to conclude. I said, Abdul, read from your hadith. And then I show him the hadith about Muhammad and the angel squeezing him. And now I say, now watch, everyone, how I proved that what Muhammad saw in the cave. And basically, I wrote in this comment everything that I've already discussed to you. Now let me see that I skip anything, because I want to make sure that I cover everything, dot all my I's, cross all my T's. Make sure I covered everything. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. Let me go back to the hadith. Let me go back to that hadith. That pretty much wraps it up. This video is the nail in the coffin, everybody. This proves that Muhammad was visited by a demon. Now, I'm doing this video to give the Christians and everybody who has to constantly be annoyed by Muslims telling you that Muhammad is the last and final prophet. We now have clear evidence that Jibreel was a demon. We showed you the verses in the Quran. We've broken it down thoroughly that this was a demon. And this is the hadith that you can use to get these Muslims busted. And the main part of this hadith, let me highlight it for you. This is the main portion that you need to show them and explain it to them like I explained it to you. Where it starts at truth descended. And by the way, I'm gonna leave the link in the comment section of this video, and I'm gonna pin it so you can access this very hadith that I used. And basically, that seals the deal, everybody. So Muslims are now exposed. We cracked the code. They have never heard this question brought up to them before. Who ordered Jibreel to squeeze Muhammad? That one single question destroys Islam. It proves that Muhammad was visited by a demon in the cave of Hira. We showed you all of the verses in the Quran. We showed you how the actions of Jibreel contradicted what the Quran said. We showed you how Muslims, they say Muhammad was the most trustworthy, but Jibreel, this demon, didn't think he was trustworthy. He didn't believe what he said. So this demon operated totally opposite of everything that the Quran says. And also, one more thing. They don't even have evidence. Let me show you one more thing. They don't even have evidence that Jibreel was ordered to squeeze Muhammad, because the Quran tells you what angels are charged to do, and they are not charged to squeeze anybody. Let's read Surah 16:12. It says, He sendeth down the angels with the spirit of his command unto whom he will of his bondmen, saying, Warn mankind that there is no God save me, so keep your duty unto me. So as you see, nowhere in the Quran, here's the verse right here. Verily, this Quran is a revelation of the Lord of the worlds, brought down by the trustworthy spirit. That was not a trustworthy spirit in that cave. So that's more proof that was a demon in the cave. Okay? And nowhere in the Quran does it say that Allah orders messenger angels to squeeze the prophets and to not believe Muhammad when he says something like, I can't read, and to punish him for not being able to read. And now let me show you one more thing. One more huge point I need to make, and we can end it after that. I'll show you. This will be the final point, and we can end it, wrap it up after this. Right here it says, Jibreel, this demon, it told him to read in the name of your Lord who has created all that exists, created man from a clot. Read, and even in this message, This is a lie, because this is more proof that this is a demon, because man is not created from a blood clot. A blood clot is dead blood. Congealed blood is a scab. That's dead blood. So that's not the point of this video, but you can add that to everything else we are saying. But that's not what I'm trying to highlight right now. What I wanted to specifically focus on in this highlighted portion that you see before you, where it says, read in the name of your Lord who has created all that exists, created man from a clot. See, at this point, this thing is saying, read in the name of your Lord. This would be more so of a command in alignment with the Quran. But when he squeezed Muhammad, he didn't say, I'm squeezing you in the name of your Lord. So that's more clear evidence that when he squeezed Muhammad, that was of his own free will. So Muslims, they have to, they got to come to terms with this. They have to deal with this. This is very, very devastating. They're going to have to answer these questions. After all that we've shown, they're going to have to do some real deep soul searching. Are they still going to try to convince themselves? Or are they going to say, you know what, Brother Jacob? You know what? We have to admit that you are right. Everything that you are saying is right. There's no way that an angel of God would squeeze a prophet for no reason, for telling the truth about something. It's no way that this can be an angel of Allah when it did actions totally opposite of what the Quran says. It's no, you are right, Brother Jacob. How many of you think the Muslims will actually do that? Or will they try to make some other excuse and try to do some type of mental gymnastics? But there's no way they can pretzel, twist, and turn out of this. It's just too much. This is clear-cut evidence that Muhammad was visited by a demon in the cave of Hira. And with that, this is Brother Jacob. Like, share, and subscribe. And this is the False Prophet channel, where we get Islam busted and the false prophet of Islam, Muhammad, busted on a regular basis. And this is Brother Jacob signing out.